हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू ट्रैवल ड्रीम। ये पेंसिल्वेनिया रोड ट्रिप सीरीज का दूसरा पार्ट है एंड फर्स्ट पार्ट में मैंने किंजुआ ब्रिज स्टेट पार्क स्काईवॉक कवर किया था। अगर आपने वो पार्ट नहीं देखा है, आप ज़रूर देखिए, उसका लिंक आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में मिल जाएगा। अभी मैं किंजुआ स्टेट पार्क कवर करने के बाद जा रहा हूँ लिंकन केव। किंजुआ ब्रिज स्टेट पार्क में हमने सिर्फ वो ब्रिज स्काई ब्रिज कवर किया। वहाँ पर ट्रेल भी था, बट ठंड इतनी ज़्यादा थी, वहाँ इतना ज़्यादा विंड था ना कि ट्रेल पे जाने की हमारी हिम्मत नहीं हुई। हम सोचे कि नहीं भाई, समर में आते हैं, फिर हम ट्रेल पे जाएंगे। और मैंने वहाँ के गिफ्ट शॉप में एक अटेंडेंट उनसे पूछा, तो उन्होंने कहा कि ट्रेल आइसी हो सकता है, मतलब कि स्लिपरी हो सकता है ट्रेल, इसलिए हमने डिसाइड किया कि ट्रेल नहीं जाते हैं। तो बिकॉज हमने वहाँ जल्दी ख़त्म हो गया हमारा टाइम, तो हमारे पास अभी काफ़ी समय है कुछ और कवर करने के लिए। सो हमने डिसाइड किया कि एक केव कवर कर लेते हैं। सो यहाँ की केव्स भी बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल होती है। आई विल शो यू। नेक्स्ट वी आर गोइंग टू लिंकन केव विच इज़ इन पेंसिल्वेनिया। ओके, सो वी आर गोइंग देयर। इट्स 2 hours of journey from this Kinjua State Park, not 2 hours, 2.5 hours of journey from Kinjua State Park. So I will reach around 2:30 from there. So I have already booked the ticket. So मैंने ऑनलाइन टिकट बुक कर लिया है। So the ticket cost me around 18 point something. Cost me something that one. So let's see. I've been to other cave also which is in Virginia. So वो जो cave जो वर्जीनिया में कवर किया था, that was very beautiful cave. So maybe I'm expecting the same from this cave also.
Slight left onto Faith Lane, then your destination will be on the left.
Arriving at destination.
Your destination is on the left.
किंजुआ ब्रिज, मैं हूँ यहाँ लिंकन केवर्स के सामने। सो एक्चुअली ये माउंटेन है जिसके अंदर में केव फॉर्मेशन हुआ है। सो उसमें क्या क्या मिनरल्स फॉर्म हुआ है, क्या क्या न्यूट्रिएंट्स फॉर्म हुआ है, तो ये पूरा टूर देते हैं, गाइडेड टूर होता है। सो मैंने एक्चुअली ये टूर पहले भी कर चुका वर्जीनिया में, बट दिस टाइम आई एम डूइंग इन फिलाडेल्फिया। इट्स अ न्यू प्लेस, आई नेवर बीन हियर लिंकन केव। So let's go there on the billing counter. So मैंने टिकट ऑनलाइन बुक कर लिया था, तो यहाँ के बस मुझे चेक इन करना था, तो मैं चेक इन कर चुका हूँ। सो मैं अभी गिफ्ट शॉप में, यू कैन सी लॉट ऑफ गिफ्ट ऑप्शन ओवर हियर। यहाँ बहुत सारे गिफ्ट का ऑप्शन है। सो इवन दो आई डिडंट एक्सप्लोर ऑल द ऑप्शंस, आई एम गोइंग टू एक्सप्लोर व्हाट आर गिफ्ट ऑप्शन इज हियर। एंड देन after 20 minutes our tour will start. The tour guide will take us in the cave. तो मैं अभी गिफ्ट शॉप के मैग्नेट सेक्शन में हूँ। सो दे आर द मैग्नेट ऑप्शन ओवर हियर। सो ये सब मैग्नेट्स यहाँ पे है। सो मैं डिसाइड कर रहा हूँ कौन सा मैग्नेट लेना है। सो आई डिसाइडेड दिस वन। सो आई एम प्रीटी कंफ्यूज बिटवीन दिस वन एंड दिस वन, विच वन टू बाई। सो दिस वन इज ऑल्सो गुड एंड दिस वन इज ऑल्सो गुड। द कॉस्ट इज 4.98 एंड 2.65. द कॉस्ट डिफरेंस $2 कॉस्ट डिफरेंस फ्रॉम हियर. So Sikha is telling go with this one.
Yes.
By cost.
Save money.
Okay, so I'm going to buy this one. It's going to be started. So trip अब start होने वाला है. So let's go.
Before we go up the hill, a couple things. My name's Mike. When we have big tours like this, which we may grow, there may be a couple that show up as we're going up the hill. When we have big tours like this, I always want to make sure you have fun, but I don't want anyone to get hurt. So when I got little buggers, don't run, okay? Slippery spaces, rocks, you slip and fall, it's going to hurt. Okay? When I have beanstalks, some of you are taller, watch your heads. I will do the best I can to warn you if something low is coming. Good rule of thumb, look straight forward when you walk. All right? Third rule, and this is the most challenging. Don't touch anything other than the rails on the stairs. Everybody wants to touch stuff. I'm going to give you some reasons for that when we go inside, but mostly we're protecting the cave. A little teeny tiny bit, we're protecting you, all right? It is winter time, and in the winter time, things move into the walls to stay warm. So if you start touching stuff, something might touch back. We're going to have fun, don't worry. All right, so before we go in, this is Lincoln. Before anybody asks me why it looks like a zoo on the outside, this is not the original entrance. We used to come in down off the highway. Why don't we do that anymore?
Probably because there's cars.
Cars, right? Our gift shop used to be on the other side of the road. It was like that for over 50 years. And then the road got bigger. You ever play Crossy Road? All right, when you come in here, watch the first step. It's steep. Whoever's last in line, if you can push that shut, we'd appreciate it, all right? Come on in.
चलते हैं अब केव के अंदर। यहाँ पर टोटल 2 केव है। ये पहला केव है जहाँ पर अभी हम जा रहे हैं, और एक और केव है जो इसके बाद टूर दिया जाएगा। अंदर मास्क मैंडेटरी है बिकॉज कोविड के कारण, एंड किसी भी यहाँ पे एक्चुअली वॉल्स को टच करना अलाउड नहीं है बिकॉज यहाँ बहुत सारे मिनरल्स फॉर्म होते हैं। इफ़ यू टच दोज तो मे बी आपके हाथ से कुछ बैक्टीरियाज वगैरह।
All right, when you get to where I am, especially the beanstalks, anybody tall, watch your heads. When you get down here, there is a low bridge, and come on in.
सो टच करना इसलिए अलाउड नहीं है। मे बी कुछ बैक्टीरिया तो आपके हाथ से उस मिनरल्स फॉर्मेशन को डिस्ट्रॉय कर सकता है, या फिर हो सकता है कि वॉल पे कुछ बैक्टीरिया जो आपके स्किन को कुछ इफेक्ट कर सकता है। इसलिए ऑब्जेक्ट को टच करना अलाउड नहीं है। लोगों ने मना किया टच करने के लिए।
All right. Oh, that must be my family. Hang on one second. We're still Other than my bad jokes, the real reason why we talked about that door. When they first found the cave, most of it is down where the highway is, where the original entrance is. 7 years later, where these stairs are was all dirt. The second owner of the cave was a caver. The first owner was not. So that woman you met downstairs, she's the 4th owner. Her grandfather was the first of the caving family. When a caver sees dirt, what's a caver going to do? Dig. Myron Sr., her granddad, dug his way up through the dirt, peeked his head into this room, and discovered what is now known as the mystery room. Mostly the mystery is that the room was here, but there were little mysteries as well. My favorite one, when he peeked his head out of the dirt, there were little tiny eyes looking down at him. What would that have been? Bats, right? Around here, just watch your step and come on down. Take your time.
Go, baby, go.
Right here in the middle, they get bigger, so just be careful. That's in the middle there. I know it's mine. All right, before we get to the bigger rooms and we start talking more about the formations, even a little tiny room like this can have something unusual. This particular cave has a lot of this furry stuff. What is that? What's growing up above us?
Webs?
Yeah, these are roots. These are tree roots.
No.
You are about 30 feet underground,
Wow.
and these roots are not only coming through the dirt, they're coming through the rock. This is limestone. All of Pennsylvania's caves are limestone based. You get out west, you're going to see volcanic tubes. Up north, ice caves. Pennsylvania's caves are limestone. Water and acid do this. But the reason why the roots are neat, has anyone here ever tried to pull a tree stump out of the ground? You go?
Yeah.
All right, come on down.
Oh, sorry. No. She's going to push past you. That's
See what I mean? You get your little bit of gravel so you're not marking through mud. Railings, where you see railings. Now, you're going to see a little bit of brick up here. We'll get into that when we get here. For the most part, what you're walking through is something. I get a little goofy, but before we do any of that, these guys were just talking about how these things grow, all right? In a solutional cave, water and acid carve out the tunnels, very similar to how the Grand Canyon forms. the stalactites, stalagmites come from water dripping down through holes in the top, picking up little trace amounts of dirt and a mineral called calcite. I'm going to show you all of that later, all right? But the water is very important because it helps them grow. So, before we get into any of this man-made stuff, we're going to look at this big stalagmite right in front. By the way, who's been to a cave before? Did they teach you any tricks how to remember stalactite, stalagmite? Go ahead, did they teach you? All right, this great big room, you are correct. This is the original entrance. Back in 1930, when they were building that part of Route 22 that you'll hear cars on in a minute probably. When they were building that, they were blasting dynamite out of the side of the mountain, trying to get down to where the road was going to be. A bulldozer was pushing the rocks out of the way, and the bulldozer disappeared. So where did it go? Down the hole? It fell in. All right? In the U.S., typically when they find a big show cave, it's usually by accident. Sometimes a sinkhole opens. In this case, they were building the road and they fell in. All right? The first owner was the farmer who owned the land. Him and his teenage son crawled in the hole, went through the tunnels with the flashlight. They saw how pretty it was, decided maybe they could make some money. So they spent the next year putting in the stairs, safety railings, and if you look close enough, you can see where the wires are. That first owner only kept the cave for 2 years. This is a canyon passage, so about 30 feet high, no wider than 2 or 3 feet in most cases. When we start talking about mineral, cave popcorn is a form of calcite. Oh. This one's bigger than the other one, but I think the other cave's actually prettier than this one. Everybody out of the tunnel? Okay, directly in front of us, great big stalactite, and underneath it, a naturally formed wishing well. When we talk about naturally formed, as the water comes down this stalactite, way up above the limestone in the soil, there's little trace amounts of acid, mostly carbonic acid, vegetation, maybe even animal blood, whatever it might be from. Like waterfalls. This is 90 feet long and 40 feet high. So when I say these things are really, really, really old, I mean much older than people old. All right? Yes. Again, if you want geology, ask me down there. I'll give it to you, okay? All right. Any questions before we get down the stairs? That one you probably do, okay?
Oh, thank you.
Kind of. It's a little bit different. We're not talking about it.
Watch your head in it.
In the other cave, I'll show you what we think is going to be another wishing well. Awesome. Yep.
Oh, you got the elevator.
Exactly. All right. If you don't want to cram in there, just hang back in there. So if you guys had been here last week, they would not have been able to come down here. Okay? You're okay. Take your time. Because last week, this room was flooded. Rock, and it sounds like the cave's talking, all right? They didn't tell me that when I started working here. So, I was here about a week, sweeping the stairs.
So, पहला केव का टूर ओवर हो चुका है. So, अभी हम दूसरे केव के बाहर हैं. एंड इस केव की एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी है. एक्चुअली इस केव को एक टीनेजर ने खोजा था. वो टीनेजर एक्चुअली इस माउंटेन के ऊपर खेलता था. तो बारिश दिनों में जो बारिश का वाटर होता है उसको वो लगा कि वो ऊपर कहीं वैनिश हो रहा था. तो उसे ऐसा लगा कि ज़रूर इस माउंटेन के नीचे कोई केव है. तो उसने क्या किया, अपने पेरेंट्स को बोला. तो उसके पेरेंट्स ने बोला ओके वी विल डू इट. देन उसने खुद क्या किया, 3 साल तक यहाँ पे डिग करते रहा. एट द लास्ट 3 साल के बाद उसने एक केव एक्सप्लोर किया. इंटरेस्टिंग, राइट?
Plus, if they made fun of me, someone's going to make fun of you. Right? You ready to go in?
Yes.
By the way, these sanitized stations, help yourself before or after. It's like pure alcohol. It doesn't smell real good, but it works.
नाउ वी आर गोइंग इनसाइड द केव एंड इस केव की एक और स्टोरी है। एक्चुअली जो टूर गाइड हमारे हैं जो हमें टूर दे रहे हैं, वो फर्स्ट टाइम जब इस केव के अंदर गए थे तो वो अकेले ही गए थे और सडनली उनको बहुत ज़ोर की आवाज़ सुनाई दी, लाइक ए घोस्ट। सो वो पूरा डर गए, तो डर के वो बाहर आ गए। देन बाहर जो लोग थे वो स्टार्ट मेकिंग फन ऑन हिम। कारण ये था कि ये केव में जब विंड का गस्ट जाता है तो वो पूरा केव में एको करता है, जिसके कारण अंदर से एक बहुत ही डरावनी आवाज़ आती है।
When we get to the bottom of these stairs, it gets really pretty really fast. The reason I stopped here, partly it's to warn you there are stairs coming, including that little one right there. But mostly it's because you're only seeing half of this cave. There's a big tunnel behind me. This tunnel goes about 85 feet back, and the last 30 feet is about this high and this wide. Some people would love that, crawling on their belly in the dark and mud. I see a couple already doing it. Some people would hate that. It's kind of funny too because the teenagers, when he finally got in, it was already like this. So just imagine being 17 years old, getting in here. Depending how big the hole is, it's how much dirt and how much mineral and how much water come down through the hole. Okay? All right, so in this room, and if you need me to get more, just put it out. So, what you're starting to see is something I did not show you guys yet. Some of these are hollow. Little skinny, what they call soda straws. Big, long soda straw. Yep. All right. This room, I like this room because there's giant bacon. There is a big hole that looks into another room. We've got great big stalactites. We have, like we were giggling at in the other cave, some mountain climbers. This is one of my favorite rooms. The next room is my absolute favorite. Great big chimney. There were a lot of bats in this room. We still hear sometimes. Stalactites, bacon, straws. Just a really, really pretty room. A couple years ago, someone got married right in front of the castle, which was kind of neat. I'm not giving that out freely. That's impressive. That is you get the whole way and still be smiling. Come on. No, this is your future wishing. So what we do is we hide these little thermoses, and inside it has a glow stick. So we would light them all like that. Doesn't happen very often. All right, we got one more room left, but we got to get there. So we're going to go through a little skinny hole. Some of you found it already. If you're claustrophobic and you don't want to go through that hole, you don't have to. You can go the same way we came in. But if you want to get through the keyhole, we're going to go down to the right here. Okay? You get it? We're the only show cave in Pennsylvania. There are some in other places. There are wild caves. That's the problem with the wild caves.
See these formations.
Yesterday, you talked about
really
yesterday.
Nothing was see formations.
It's like half the size of the house. They're really big. He did. He literally kept peeking out. The room we're going in is on the other side of this, but I'm going to stop here before we get there. All right, before we finish, we have one room left. Before we go up the stairs, this big one right here is the ice cream sundae. Cherry, straw, a couple scoops. If you're ever here when it's really dry, last year the entire season it was fairly dry. This big column in the middle will sparkle. We call it the Diamond Cascades.
सो केव का टूर ओवर हो चुका है। सो हमने दो केव देखा अभी, एक विस्पर केव, एक केव जो डाउन स्टेयर्स था। सो इट वॉज ब्यूटीफुल केव, जो फॉर्मेशन था बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल था। सो अभी हम विस्पर केव के जस्ट ऊपर में हैं, ये केव का ऊपर का पार्ट है। सो विल गो देयर एंड जस्ट वॉक अराउंड दिस पार्ट ऑफ द केव, अपर पार्ट ऑफ द केव, एंड देन वी विल स्टार्ट फॉर द होटल। सो अभी हम केव के ऊपर, इसके नीचे ही केव है पूरा, और ये जो होल है ये केव में ओपन होता है, स्निक होल ट्रेल। अब जब मैं केव में स्निक होल एक एरिया जगह था जहाँ दिखाया बताया गया था, सो जो होल आप देख रहे हैं वहीं ओपन होता था। यहाँ से पानी जो है यहीं से नीचे जाते हुए केव के नीचे अंदर जाता है यहाँ से पानी। सो आज का ये लास्ट डेस्टिनेशन था एक्चुअली, हमारा लास्ट जो अट्रैक्शन था। सो उसके बाद हम होटल जा रहे हैं। देन आफ्टर विल स्टार्ट टुमारो वी आर गोइंग टू falling water house, and there is one more house which is near to the falling water. I will tell you tomorrow about that house.
Bye. Bye. Have a good day.
Your destination is on the right.
आफ्टर केव मैं हूँ यहाँ अपने होटल में जहाँ मैं 1 नाइट के लिए स्टे कर रहा हूँ। ये डॉलर इन है जो कि पैटर्सबर्ग पेंसिल्वेनिया में है। एंड दिस इज द होटल इन द स्मॉल एरिया, दे डेकोरेटेड वेरी वेल। आई मीन दिस इज हैविंग माइक्रोवेव एंड फ्रिज। एक्चुअली अभी कोविड टाइम पे मैं एक्चुअली ऐसा होटल देखता हूँ जहाँ माइक्रोवेव और रेफ्रिजरेटर मिल जाए, क्योंकि हीट करके खाना खा सकते हैं एक्चुअली अपना लाके। सो या दे हैव स्मॉल डाइनिंग एरिया ऑल्सो you can eat and television, and it cost me $55. Yeah, it cost $55 for a night with tax. So इसी के साथ मैं ये वीडियो यहीं पे क्लोज करता हूँ। और अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा हो, इन्फॉर्मेटिव लगा हो, देन लाइक शेयर एंड कमेंट जरूर कीजिएगा। एंड लेट मी नो इन द कमेंट बॉक्स ऑल्सो हाउ यू लाइक दिस केव। एंड अगर आप USA की ट्रैवल एंड लाइफस्टाइल वीडियो में इंटरेस्टेड है तो आप चैनल जरूर सब्सक्राइब करें। आपका सब्सक्रिप्शन बहुत ही मैटर करता है मेरे चैनल की ग्रोथ के लिए। थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग द वीडियो।